Hey everybody. Usually you would hear the music right about now and things like that, but we figured with the news of today, we would start a little differently. Obviously, if most of you know, Daphne passed away today, and we wanted to start the show and just have a conversation about mental health and just things like that for a few minutes, and then you're going to hear the music, and then we're going to be the two goofy guys you guys are used to chatting about wrestling. Um, but first and foremost, John Pluggo, how you doing, man? Oh, I'm by myself. Anyway, all right. So obviously, with the news today, it's not a great day. It's not a great day. So I just want to come on here and just if anybody's listening, let you know that, mental health is very real. I've battled it within my life. I have close people in my life that have battled it and gone through it. And I just want you to know that there's always someone there that would love to hear from you. And there's always someone there that if you feel like you'd be bothering them or you feel like, I don't know. I just feel like there's always someone who would want to hear from you. And if you're ever feeling like you need to talk to somebody, I'm on social media. We have producer Joe hopping in here. I'm on social media. Feel free. My DMs are always open for anybody that feels like they need to chat with somebody, vent, just someone to listen to them. We need to be here for each other, and we need to be here. Tell your loved ones you love them. Check in on your friends. Check in on your strong friends, because even sometimes the strongest people are the ones going through the hardest things. So even if you have your friend and you're like, oh yeah, no, they're tough. No, check in on them. Check in on your people. Tell your people you love them. Because life is not easy, and the last few years specifically, with everything that we've experienced in the world, it's been a tough time. And you hear news like you did today, and it just stinks, man. It just stinks. And so we wanted to start the show off a little differently and just kind of talk really open and candidly for a few minutes. Here's Pluggo back.
I'm really sorry about that.
It's all right. It's terrible, all right, buddy.
Terrible.
Yeah, man. So I've been kind of, Cody, good to see you, buddy. I just kind of led with that. It's a tough topic to discuss, but you guys are here. I've been talking the whole time, so I'll let you guys go. But I basically, I just want everyone to know that if you need to talk to somebody, there's somebody that would love to hear from you, I'm sure. And you're not bothering them. You're not doing anything. Like, reach out to people. And if you don't, and like I said, reach out to your people and the people that are close to you and that treat you well. Reach out to them too, because you never know what they're going through. So I'll let one of you guys go.
I'll talk briefly before I slide back behind the fourth wall here. Just to reiterate what JPJ had just said, it's okay to not be okay. We all have down kind of moments, but you don't need to suffer alone. There's always people that you can reach out to. That's one great thing about the Love Wrestling family that we have here, is that if one of us falls, there's a whole bunch of us there to pick them up and to carry them through whatever kind of bullshit they're going through. So that's the biggest thing. I think so many people are feeling that they need to suffer and go through the stuff by themselves. Like, reach out, because a lot of times being by yourself in that situation is a really, really bad place to be. And it doesn't need to be that way. Just reach out there. I can guarantee you every single person, there's at least a handful of people out there that love you and that you can reach out to and talk to and get you through, right? So that's all I can say is just don't feel like you need to suffer alone, because it doesn't need to be that way. So I will slide back behind the curtain here. I will let Pluggo talk, and then we'll kind of get things going here.
Yeah, well, first off, sorry about the technical difficulties at the top there. Can you guys hear me now? Everything good?
Yeah, everything is good, my friend.
Perfect. So I don't know what you guys talked about in the few minutes at the start of the show, but I know when I heard the news about Daphne, I am not overly familiar with Daphne's in-ring work, and I think that this is a bigger conversation than her in the ring. But wrestling is a community. We are a community, and one of our, something like this happens, we all need to band together. And like you said, reach out. I would much rather, get a phone call that you need to talk about whatever you're going through than the alternative. I think that, like I said, we have a very tight-knit group here. And like you said, the Love Wrestling family, we're always willing to talk to any one of us. You want to reach out to any one of us. None of us on this show are too big to have a conversation with you. I've, been there myself where, you're just down and out and you have rough days, and it's good to talk it out. So please reach out, be there for those, in need, and just know that it's better than the alternative. And whatever you're going through, we can work through it. It's a tough day. It's a tough way to start the show. I know we try to have a lot more fun here on Between Two Beards and keep it a little bit more jovial, but things like this today, we definitely wanted to let you, our fans, family, friends know, hey, we are here for you. Please reach out if you're, in a certain way. This is not anything to make fun of. Nobody's going to laugh at you for being down and out, because we've all been there. I don't think there's one person in the world that hasn't had a rough day, and probably would have made that rough day better to be able to talk about it with someone that they, love, even if they don't. I mean, I could tell stories about how I've reached out to people that I don't talk to often and just said, hey, listen, I know this is random, but really like to talk to you. And I can tell you some of those conversations have changed my life for the better. So don't ever hesitate to reach out to myself, JPJ, producer Joe, any of us at the Love Wrestling family. We are always here for you in good and bad.
Yeah. And I think we'll kind of leave it at that with the three of us kind of just letting everyone know that there's always someone there for you. And even if it's us, reach out to us. We're all here to help each other. So we're going to duck back out. We're going to do a little bit of a 10-bell salute to Daphne, and then you're going to hear the music, and then we're going to go back to being the goofy guys that try to have some fun and talk about some wrestling. Okay? So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Hello. Welcome back to Between Two Beards. I am JPJ. He is Pluggo. And we made it another week. We are here. We are ready to go. We're only here until 9 tonight because there is a new Quizplex this evening, which I'm very much looking forward to, as I do every time we do a Quizplex. It's always a great time. I also want to thank RK Athletics for sponsoring us and everything we do here at Love Wrestling. You can follow them on all social medias at RK Athletics 1. All right, Pluggo, how are we this week, my friend? What is on your mind? What do you want to talk about first?
I tried to get us fired this week. It didn't work out. I started the Between Two Beards calendar. Be on the lookout. I put Spencer Love's face on a cool.
I've been working hard for that. I've been working hard for that physique.
Ever since
years.
Last week, we hit the gym and we got that chiseled a goddess, Adonis or whatever. I'd like to say shout out to the kayfabe ref Pluggo, I know you can grow a bigger beard than that. We went over this last week. I can, and I have. I work in an industry in which it's got to be at least semi-maintained. And I guess if I go like this and like stretch it out, I can. But yeah, other than that, okay. Well,
we got a run in. I can already tell we got a run in. I heard it. I heard him coming down the aisle. I heard it.
Who do you think's gonna win between CM Punk and Darby Allin? Do you think what? Who do you think's gonna win?
Who's gonna win?
CM Punk or Darby Allin? Darby.
Darby Allin. All right. All right. All right. Yeah.
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 Who do you think's gonna win? Kenny Omega or Christian Cage? Christian
Cage.
Cage. Bold.
He beat him last time. It's fair.
Oh my goodness. What do you think of the new NXT logo? You think it's a good one or bad one?
Yeah, I don't have any words either.
No,
yeah.
No words. Yeah, that's an astute point. Don't you have something to say?
Oh, there he goes. See you later.
Wow.
Future
beard and training. little Pluggo.
Pluggo Jr.
We definitely had planned to talk about this because you, JPJ, I don't know where you stand on it. You were Mr. NXT.
Here's the thing.
Report. Now it's going to be different and produced by Vince and Bruce.
Well, maybe, because there was another report that came out today that said that the look of it was going to be kind of final stamped by Vince and Bruce, but it was still going to be the day-to-day hands-on was still going to remain the same, like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, that crew. If that is the case, even though NXT, it's still a very good show. I think it's still the second best wrestling show of the week. Because the first to me has been AEW for a long time. But it's okay.
Difficulties left.
Just carnage down there.
Here, why don't you just?
How'd he get loose?
I don't know. He's crazy.
How did he get loose?
He's kind of like when they say, "Oh, they're going to use a cage to contain him, so nobody can get in or out." He figures it out.
Yeah, I actually, when we're talking about the logo, I actually like the logo.
Yeah,
I will say, I like the logo. I think they're trying to appeal to kids. They're trying to appeal to the younger demographic, and that's fine. You know who I think that when they start to read, like Hit Row should be the centerpiece of NXT.
Yes.
I've said that since they got there, that Hit Row the show should revolve around Hit Row. And that logo fits in with the culture. It fits in with Hit Row. It's very artistic. It's out there. Like, it's a good logo. I didn't have a problem with the logo. It's just completely different from what we know,
We in comparison to AEW, we kind of complained how dark and drab NXT looks in comparison to the bright lights and the fluorescent colors of AEW, and then they go ahead and they switch to some brighter, more vibrant colors, and everybody's like, gross. I like the skulls and crossbones. I'm gonna let it play out. I don't necessarily want it to become ECW, WWE ECW, as everybody's kind of comparing it to. I really hope that they kind of stick with the essence that is NXT, but I'm down for a refresh. I like the colors.
I like the colors.
You like the colors too?
See, he likes the colors. Everybody likes the colors. Jacking up my show, kid. No, I'm just kidding.
Say bye to everyone. Oh my.
See you later.
Sorry.
If you don't scream at your wife later, I swear I'm gonna not be friends with you. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
That was a joke. Relax. It's okay.
I will.
I like kids. I don't give a shit about your kids.
He's
Anyway,
a sneaky little guy. He loves to.
No, this is like his third run in, and I think every time he's been better. So he's getting used to the camera, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Hit Row, and he Swerve Scott put him over.
Yeah, he does. Swerve Scott was like, "Yo, he can join Hit Row if he wants. Like, he's in."
And that's legit fact for anybody
that is. We have proof. We have visual proof
Swerve
of that.
He's an honorary member.
Jeremy, what up? Hopping in the chat.
And
So about it,
he's on Quizplex later.
oh yeah. Well, I have a friend of mine, Mr. Doug, is on Quizplex later as well. So my friend, hopefully, better beat your friend. Even though Jeremy is a friend of ours, he's a friend of the show. But anyway, yeah. So with NXT, with the report that I heard today, that gives me a little more hope because like I said, I still think NXT is a really good wrestling show. It entertains me. It's changed a lot in the last 12 to 12 months to a year and a half, but a lot of things have changed.
Yeah. Climate's different, but
yeah, it's just it's a different area than we're in, and you heard that right, Wordsmith, that I don't give a shit about Pluggo's kids. What?
That's fine. I don't give a shit about them uncertain. I'm kidding.
Wow.
I love
wow. Now you're really going to get us kicked off the air. You can't talk like that.
Heel turn. No, I'm kidding. I
Jeez.
love my kids. He's funny. He's getting better. I mean, it's like you said, he's answering questions now. He used to just stare. He does truly though. Like he does enjoy Darby Allin because he'd be like, "Who's that guy with the face paint?" And I'm like, "That's Darby."
Yeah.
And he likes Darby Allin. I don't think Darby Allin's gonna win.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about that.
Teaser.
All out.
While we're talking NXT, I know that normally we do drafts and lists, but tonight's show's a little tighter because of Quizplex with Zach and at 9:00. So we are going to talk about our favorite NXT takeover matches because we all feel like the takeover that we saw last week, or was it last week or the week before?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the end of an era, so to speak. So drop your favorite takeover matches in the comments. Let's talk about them.
I know we're in the moment, but I think that takeover last week had one of those matches that might be near the top of the list of best takeover matches. Because
Raquel and Dakota.
I mean, that was a good one. Yeah. I like that one. But Dragunov and Walter, that I know we talked about it last week. That I've watched it like twice since. That match is perfect. That is a perfect. I cannot find a thing wrong with it. I'm like, that is just so good. I've watched it 4 times in total, and all 4 times I was like, man, not once did it dull on me. I was like, this is incredible. Incredible. Oh, just good stuff.
Well, what do you do with Walter now? Now that he's out of the title, I mean, he's still in the title picture. He's Walter. But
yeah. Not only to Jeremy's point in the chat, but not only did Walter lose, Walter tapped out like that. The whole man, but it worked because I love Ilya too. Like I think he's a star. Walter's already a star. Like I don't know what you do with Walter. I thought he said. So Jeremiah, yeah. So we talked about it a little bit right at the top, but there was another report today that came out and said that Vince and Pritchard are really only going to be in charge of the look of how NXT looks, but the day-to-day running and operations of NXT will remain the same with Triple H and Shawn Michaels and kind of his crew. So if that is true, I feel a lot better about that than I do if Vince and Bruce are taking over and everything. Because if Vince and Bruce are taking over everything, the NXT is over. It's a completely different show. It's a completely different show. It's not going to be the show, even an inkling of the show that we remember. That's how I feel. But if Triple H is, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, if you're Triple H, how are you feeling right now? If like you were being,
if I'm Triple H, I'm all elite, bro. I'm waiting until that contract runs out.
Just shows up,
goes face to face with Cody, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah."
I mean, that would be.
Well, Cody broke the throne, right? He sledgehammered the throne. So, if it were ever to happen, that's who he would have to face right away.
Oh man, I could just see that. Like he brings his own new throne in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know we're not doing lists, but I did write a list of my top 5 NXT takeover matches. I did do that. I'm a hard worker.
I'm not. Well,
it's okay. It's okay.
That I feel like we're gonna have a few of the same ones.
Well, that's why I was just like, that's why I was jotting down. Like I didn't do them like as in.
Yeah, don't lie. They're double spaced and typed. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they take 2.5 pages. Yeah, the font is like a 19 Times New Roman.
Comic Sans, bro.
Look at the top of my list, always and forever, Bailey and Sasha from NXT Brooklyn. I think that for me, that is my second favorite match of all time.
Yes,
that's where I value that.
That would have been on my list if I wrote one.
Yeah, that was one that stood out to me. Another one that stood out to me was Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate from TakeOver Chicago. That match was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So good. That crowd was eating that up. The wordsmith is judging me for saying Times New Roman. If I knew another Arius, if I knew another font name, which I know plenty, but if I could remember another font name right now, because I'm an idiot most of the time. Comic Sans. That's a good one. Gothic, wasn't that one of them?
Helvetica. There was like an H one. I don't remember. Helvetica.
Yeah.
Speaking of the wordsmith, I use these hour shows because I know we don't have a lot of time. I like to plug all of our shit.
Yeah, do it. Trust me.
We were on.
Yes, we were.
Poetry Slam. And
Part 2.
Part 2, the second one. So if you go back on Love Wrestling, find that, you'll see us. We did a little ditty, and it was a little precursor about that little kid that crashed the show today. That dude thinks he's getting paid. That kid's not getting paid. He's lucky.
Only thing he's going to be getting is
go to bed, bro. What are you doing?
Starts interrupting my show again.
Go to sleep.
Unbelievable. Another one that what about you? You pick a couple that stand out to you.
The one that I honestly that stands out to me above all, I didn't dive super deep into TakeOver when it first began, right? I kind of got into it a little bit later, but Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. Which one? The first one. Mm-hmm. Ciampa comes out and they're just like, F you, Ciampa.
Oh my God, dude.
He wasn't coming out to music then. There's just that match. I remember it I was at a bar. I think it was New Orleans. It might have been in New Orleans, but I was at a bar just sitting in the corner, just on my phone like this. And my wife is like, what are you doing? I was like, it's TakeOver. It's Gargano. Ciampa. I gotta watch this. She's
like, you know how I know I love you? I'm here with you. I'm here with you.
I go, I know, but I gotta keep up.
Yeah.
It was so good. So that one to me was awesome. I thought the first Cole O'Reilly was really good. I liked it more than the street fight.
Yep.
Or was that the first one?
The unsanctioned one was the first one.
Okay, I like the second.
Yeah.
I like the unsanctioned one too. I just felt it was 45 minutes long, and I felt that they were getting very very spotty on purpose.
Yeah.
And I was like, you guys, you could see them actively trying to set up the next spot and drag it out. And I was like, yeah, let's go.
Well, here we go. So Cody's got a bunch. Breeze and Lager, excellent. Yeah, Bailey, Sasha, obviously. So another one, I was at the NXT Dallas show which Shinsuke debuted against Sami Zayn, and that match is incredible. It was the best match of the night. And that card, American Alpha and a Revival were also the opener of that card. So both of those matches were on that NXT Dallas show, and it was incredible. The 2 out of 3 with Revival and DIY. Incredible.
Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn was
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, incredible.
I liked the Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, Charlotte Flair triple threat when Io jumped off the set in your house. I know a lot of people did not, but I thought that was a lot of fun. So I don't think you can go wrong with Io Shirai.
No. Yeah, man, it's so good. It's just such good stuff. And the best story they probably, yes, KO and Finn, very, very good. Man, I love NXT. I love that whole stretch of NXT is just such good stuff, man. It's so good for so many years. I know we don't really talk about him anymore because he's not with the company anymore, but I thought the Aleister Black Velveteen Dream match from TakeOver was very good. I thought that was a really good story. Where Dream just was like, I just want you to acknowledge me, say my name, and then Black beat him, and then Black said his name, and the crowd, at the time, not knowing what we know now, the crowd, Velveteen Dream was a top guy.
He was the guy.
He was the top guy. Like, he was the one that everyone was projecting to be like, oh yeah,
that's
yeah.
And
then it turned out that he wasn't a good person, so he's where he is and where he should be.
The North American title match, I was going to bring that up. Which
Yeah,
is
that
funny
ladder match.
When you look at it now, like, none of those people exist. Or one of them's left, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that was Ricochet's debut, right?
It was Ricochet. It was Lars Sullivan,
Adam Cole,
Dream. I think Johnny Gargano was in there.
Johnny Gargano. No. There was 6 of them.
I'll have to look it up. I'll have to do some.
No, you nailed it. It was Lars, Cole, Ricochet. Was it Aleister Black? Was he in there? No. EC3, because it was his debut as well. Yep. Jeremy hooked us up there. And there was one other guy.
And
there were 6 of them. There were 6 of them.
Not a great showing for that.
I mean, the match itself was a banger.
Yeah. Well, that's NXT always, the takeovers from top to, like, here's the thing I always think with NXT, like, it's so easy to name, like,
Killian Dane.
Great matches, but it's impossible to go, like, if we were to go top 5 worst NXT takeover matches, like,
I don't think they had a bad takeover ever.
That's what I mean. Like, it's hard to do. Like, even the early ones, when you're talking, Neville is out there at Arrival and stuff like that. Like, even those were good. And it's just one of those things. It's hard to find a bad match to take over, which they're an entertainment company. I get that, but this was your purest wrestling product from top to bottom. And you want to just take what is good about it and hopefully make it better. I got to
look. There's nothing wrong. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with like a revamp. And, like, they've been the dark black and gold for 10 years, however long, over 10 years now, whatever it is. You want to give it a fresh new coat of paint? Cool. You can do that without changing the core of NXT. I'm worried that the core of NXT is going to change. That's what worries me. I don't give a crap what it looks like. Like, yes, I like the black and gold, but if they want to change, if they want to change the colors, oh yeah, all the War Games matches.
And I forgot to mention Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, or was that that was on NXT?
I think that was on NXT.
That match was awesome. But Baszler, Ember Moon,
they were all good. They were all good. They were all good. Oh man. But yeah, like, you can put new colors and new whatever on there, but if NXT still feels like NXT, it's just a little bit different. Cool. I'm okay with that. When you hear the report that, they're taking over NXT, you're like, okay, so it's going to be like Raw and SmackDown. And, like, I don't want it to be like Raw and SmackDown. I like NXT the most because it's not like Raw and SmackDown. That's why I like NXT the most, because it reminds me of the type of wrestling show I watched when I was a kid, when I fell in love with wrestling. That's why I like AEW, because AEW makes me feel that way. AEW, I watch AEW, and as a 36-year-old wrestling nerd, I sit on the couch, and when I watch AEW, I feel the same way that I felt when I was 14 years old watching Stone Cold Steve Austin on Monday Night Raw. Because it's fun and it's exciting and there's good stories and the booking matters. And I watch it 2 months from now and I'll be like, oh yeah. And they don't make me feel like I'm an idiot, and they make me feel good for giving them my time, because they reward me as a watcher, as a viewer.
And I just think we're all scared as wrestling fans who we're on this show. We're not anti WWE. We're not.
No.
We're not.
I will watch WWE for the rest of my life. I'm going to watch WWE. They have me.
We just, we see what happens on Raw and SmackDown and understand that, like, NXT was the show. Before AEW, NXT was like, you talk to wrestling, diehard wrestling fans, they'd be like, I love NXT. And it just worries people. Now, again, I think Raw's gone through rebranding, SmackDown's gone through, retooling, rebranding. They've all done it. NXT, I think it would be naive to say, let's just keep, chalking out a product that does 500,000 viewers on a primetime slot on Tuesday. I don't think USA is happy about that. I can't imagine. So let's fix it. Let's build it back up. Let's try again. I hope that, like I said, I hope they keep the core essence of what NXT is. That is what we're looking for, because right now, like you said, AEW is nailing both the entertainment side of things and the wrestling side of things, right? They're leaning on both and they're doing it really well. I know that they said at the beginning that they were going to be sports centric and yada, yada, yada. And I think that they misfired by saying that, but I think that they're handling the entertainment aspect very well too. But, and like you said, they're not making me feel dumb, and NXT never made me feel dumb either. Like they made sure to call back, but you can't be doing that the way they're doing it now. So if you're going to release people left and right in storylines and then have your number one contenders show up on Raw and lose and yada yada, it gets convoluted. So I really hope they take it as an opportunity to rebrand, retool, and go forward with a good direction, because there's still a lot of talent on that roster. They're not like,
of course,
we're not completely devoid of anybody worth talking.
No,
they're not going to put anybody that's never wrestled on TV on prime time on USA. So you're going to still see some good matches. Let's just hope it's not like karaoke contests and
it's just it's WWE. The problem, and like I said, they have me. They're the WWE's the reason why I love wrestling. It's the reason why probably most of us do.
Yeah,
because that was the stuff that we watched when we first started watching wrestling. Most of us, and I'm not going anywhere. Like, it's just bad. And you have to be honest about it. Not the matches aren't all bad. The talent is certainly not bad. But like when I'm watching the show and Drew McIntyre is feuding with Sheamus, who he was feuding with in February, it's August. And that doesn't mean I'm against long-term storytelling. That ain't long-term. They don't tell long stories. They just have guys just keep on fighting each other. And it's like, okay, well, like, no, it needs to be a perfect mix. It needs to be a perfect mix. And I think AEW is kind of hitting those cylinders. Nia Jax, man.
You know what?
I think people hate on her a tad too much.
I was in that camp of like everybody shits on Nia to shit on Nia because it's.
But
like,
Monday was bad.
Monday
was not good.
And she keeps stacking up these. And I don't know who said it. I was cruising Twitter when it happened, and somebody said the funny thing is Nia Jax will be in the WWE longer than Charlotte Flair, and I was just like, yeah, that's probably true.
She beat Charlotte clean on Monday.
Charlotte, and that's the thing. That's what we're talking about. Right? Charlotte's the champion. She gets pinned clean by somebody who's been taking L's, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what are you doing? So now and if you want to, why can't you just keep them away from each other? Like Darby Allin and CM Punk haven't touched each other yet. Granted, they have this respect thing going on, but Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, up until Page had to leave, barely touched each other. Mm-hmm. Like you could keep a good storyline going without having them have to lose to each other until we get to a pay-per-view. We're like, oh, we just saw that on Monday.
Yeah, and so, Jeremiah, I didn't see what Nia said about Ronda. So if you want to throw that in the chat, because I have not seen that yet. So throw that in the chat so I can see.
I miss Ronda.
Dude, she was good. I know people didn't like her. Dude, that was as successful first year as you will ever see. And she was a big deal. She was a big deal. And mainstream paid attention,
Yeah. Eyes on the prize.
Yeah. So it looked like at some point during the Nia Jax Charlotte match that they were really throwing fists, or like at least like it looked like it was like a little bit of a shoot for like 20 seconds. Like Charlotte was like, all right, you're pissing me off. Yeah. And like kind of really pushed her or hit her. And then Nia was like, I'm bigger. Like, don't. And then they kind of got back to what they were doing there. And the clothesline that she did too, it looked a little rough. But it is what it is. Charlotte bailed a fist and looked really, like that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like Charlotte like stood up. Like I was like, is she gonna box her? Like is she trying to like throw like, they're gonna go? I was like, that might not be good.
I don't know. So I've never been a wrestler or backstage per se, like in the gorilla position of wrestling promotions or anything like that. But I wonder like what happens if that just pops off
I mean, it happened with Braun and Brock.
right?
Like, not, it wasn't a full-fledged
Right.
fight, but
What if
Braun hit Brock by accident, and Brock was like, and punched him.
punched him? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
my
he
thought
walked
process was,
backstage?
what if Braun got knocked out? Right? Like, what happens?
Right. That's
What
I'm
if Brock?
saying.
The match is over, and then everyone's like, "Wow, Brock Lesnar is the most dominant." He just knocked him out. It was about respect. Rousey district. I will say that since Ronda has left, she has not been very kind to wrestling fans, and I think that I don't know if she's playing up the character. Ryan, what's going on, brother?
Dogs, my man. What's good?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I don't know. I was never a big Khali guy. I wasn't around for most of his.
I can see why people would want to punch Kali though.
I mean, if I punched him, I would hit his thigh. So I don't know. I'm short, so I would probably punch him directly in the thigh. But
Punjabi Playboy.
oh,
What
God.
a great gimmick.
Was it?
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Great gimmick, huh?
Write that down. Bad gimmick episode coming up with the Tweet Beard special. That'll be on the list.
Oh, man.
Oh man, I have to. I can't remember specifically all the girls that Great Khali got, but I have to imagine like Vince.
Well, he made out with Beth Phoenix, and she
Right,
eliminated him from the Rumble, right? That was a thing.
Yeah, that was. Like,
Sasha and Alexa, they really don't like each other. I don't know if they still don't, but at the time, that was like kind of a known thing that they did not like each other behind the scenes at all.
Well, I know like Rollins and Riddle didn't like each other behind the scenes, but they worked fine together. I just like it. Wrestling is
Riddle and Goldberg.
Yeah, like wrestling is one of those things, right? Where it's like you're in there, and it's choreographed physicality, but once the line is crossed, like how do you, stay professional, so to speak, and then what do they do if that pops off? Like, do you go back and like Vince?
I think you just let them go. No, you let them go.
Just let them go, and
because I mean, in the end, right? It's choreographed, enhanced fake fighting, right? So if they just start popping off because they're getting in a scuffle, all right, like whoever it might go against if the person that's supposed to win like would get knocked out or something like that. It might you got to rewrite the show for next week. We got to change the way this is going. But what else can you do? You got to let them, maybe the ref says something like, hey, come on now, get it together. Vince would be screaming at the ref, break them up. Or like something, say something. But, oh my God. But, I 100% agree with Joe. Some of the best feuds have stemmed from real life. Matt Hardy and Edge. That was more like that. The Piper, Mr. T, perfect example where they really didn't respect each other in real life, and they were both professional and made it work.
Right.
Up until the very, and that's the point, being professional. You can not like somebody. We've all had jobs working with people that we don't effing like. But guess what? We're like, well,
that's not true. We all love it.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not talking about this. This is
By the
nice.
way, I'm gonna bust out producer Joe there while you were emphasizing his point, like because we can see him in the back. He's like, "That's right, yeah." He's like rocking out. He's like, "Yeah, buddy, damn straight. Get it, Joe."
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, yeah, dude, like real life animosity matters. Up until the very end with the screw job, Brett and Sean did not like each other, and that added to what they were doing. It added to that because you knew they didn't like each other. Matt Hardy and Edge. There's a lot of feuds that, can go that way. But anyway, we got about 15, 20 minutes left. What?
Tim's comment.
Oh, I can think several people I work with that can use an AA.
I'm only laughing because I know exactly who he's talking about.
Well, there you go. So here's what you do. If you ever quit that job, like the scene in oh my God, I'm brain farting on the name of the movie. That's the Dave Chappelle movie, the weed movie.
Yeah,
Half Baked. Where the guy quits and he's like, screw you. Instead of that, you just give everyone AAs.
You're cool. Yep.
So you don't even you just give everyone AAs, and then you pass someone who's cool and you just let them go. And then you give the last AA, and then you just get the hell out of there.
Oh, man.
You just get the hell out of there. But, man. Give them all the F you. Oh, man.
What finisher, like, would you use? What would you be?
Me?
Yeah, if you like, let's just if you were gonna do that, like what finish you going with? You going with the AA? You got to pick them up, spin them, drop them.
I would prefer just full chair shots. Just chair shots.
Chair shots?
Galore. Oh my God.
Okay.
Chair shots. But if I had to do a finisher move, I mean, you can hit a ton of RKOs. You can hit a ton of RKOs quickly. You could hit the stunner. That's a good one too.
I would go full Office Space on the photocopier without giving away what my job is too bad. I wouldn't do the copier. I would use a certain other type of machinery that does not work right now. We'll just say that.
Yeah. So Tim's with me. He says the stunner all the way. Cody saying gore. He just starts spearing people. Not spear. Imagine that scene.
You got to yell it
God.
right before you hit him too.
What a scene that would be. Just imagine you were like just a customer in there and you were like, what the hell? You looked over and you just see this worker spearing everybody. You're like, is this real? I would dive in. I'm
a firm believer. So here's my philosophy on retail. If anybody works in retail, I believe there should be a policy in place where you get one pass a year to just say whatever.
A year.
No,
how about a month? Once a month.
Hear me out. One a year. Every employee gets one pass a year to say whatever they want to a customer. And just walk in the boss's office after it happens and throw your pass down. You're good. The reason I say one is because you got to make it count. If you're getting one a month, that's excessive. That's 50 employees, 12 times a month. That's a lot. But it works two ways. One, if you're giving out that pass, then you got to be good for the rest of the year. And two, if you're the customer that continually gets passes from employees, you're going to think, oh, wait, maybe I should be nicer to the people that are working.
No, they'll never think that. People like that never think like
that. No? Okay.
Bionic elbows, good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Bionic elbows.
I want to do the Razor Ramon or the toothpick.
Yeah.
It's not a finisher, but I would just be like, all right, I'm out.
Oh, how about that? Once a month verbal, once a year for physical. I mean, I'm not trying to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail for assault. I'm not a violent guy.
Yeah,
however, there are a few that I would like to. Ooh.
Long story short, be nice to your.
I'm not going to go into detail, but I once had a customer of mine at a retail joint. We had a supply issue with straws. Okay, I get it. We had a supply issue with straws. We weren't out of straws. We just didn't have a certain size straw. Okay. So we still had a straw to give this person, but it wasn't the right size straw for this person. He called me and he talked to me on the phone for over 25 minutes about straws.
Oh, yeah.
I'll leave it at that. Anyway, so, we talked about NXT. We talked about our favorite takeover matches, things like that. Well, as I announced on the social media on Twitter yesterday, this Saturday, the franchise, my boy, Matt, is coming back. He had to handle some personal things these last few months. He's been off the grid a little bit. He is coming back on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. I love you, Wordsmith, and we love you, and we love the things you do, too. We
absolutely love you.
You are always welcome here, my friend.
We're going to have to come on one of these times.
I would love to have him on.
School us.
I want him on a whole show soon. Let's plan it out.
Yes, sir. Anyway, big announcement.
Yes, so he's coming back on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. We're going to be doing a full all-out preview for the all-out pay-per-view this coming Sunday. And then starting next week, Matt is coming back full-time, but he will only be doing the AEW portion of the show. And the Tuesday night show, the NXT show, we've had a lot of people helping. Pluggo, you were one of them. You hopped on the Wednesday night show. It was me, you, and Cody. And I know lately I had to miss a lot of those shows because the real gimmick has been just insane and driving me bananas lately. But you guys filled in for me. You guys helped me out. Firstly, when Matt had to, go take care of some business. And secondly, when I've had to take care of some business. So, Pluggo, you're obviously stuck with me at least once a week. So,
I'd like to know when you were going to tell me I was getting fired from the War Report, bro.
Oh, what's this? Hey, Bearded Brother. Sorry I missed the start of the show. Just got home. Hope you're both rocking. We are trying our best, my friend. Thanks for showing up, man. I appreciate you.
No, you know what? I had a lot of fun doing the War Report with you, and I couldn't do the franchise justice. Matt, if you guys are not familiar, is one of our, he's been there since day one.
Early on. He's been an early on guy.
And like we talked at the top of the show, we're a family. He had some business he had to take care of. I had no problem stepping in, and I gladly will give him his spot back. He thought I was trying to steal you permanently, and that wasn't gonna happen. So I'm glad Matt's back in the fold, man. You guys are gonna kill it.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. So that'll be Saturday at 10 a.m. And then starting next week, most likely on Sunday mornings, but on one of the weekend mornings, we will be doing a AEW. We'll be doing Dynamite and Rampage because I feel like Rampage is appointment viewing as well. Mm-hmm. It's been so good. I know Joe said it in the chat earlier. The hour format, the way that they have done it so far is just brilliant. It's just match. It's just the pacing, everything. I feel like that should be reviewed as well.
It feels like a longer show too.
It does. It feels like it's more than an hour because it's a well put together hour. Yes. No, like Raw feels like it's supposed to be 3 hours. Raw feels like it's a week and a half.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is not what we're supposed to be doing. A week and a half. All right, I got to work tomorrow. Let's go. But an hour show on Friday nights, it flies by, but it does, like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like it's longer than an hour, but there's not a part of it that doesn't matter. And it's just really well done so far. So we're going to review Dynamite and Rampage on one of the weekend mornings, Matt and I. And then the Tuesday night show for NXT will be Ed, Astrid, who have been awesome on that Tuesday night show, and Cody, who was with you and me on the Wednesday night show. He is going to transition to the Tuesday night show, and that's going to be the Tuesday night crew. And I'll probably pop in there from time to time, say hello, because I'm still going to be watching NXT. But that is going to be that. I wanted to definitely say thank you, and and I didn't want, they had become a part of this show. I wanted them to continue to be a part of what we're doing here. It was my goal to get newer people on the streams when I knew Matt wasn't going to be there. I knew you had my back because you always got my back, but like, I wanted to get some of the newer blood in there, and those three stepped up and they knocked it out of the park. So I wanted to make sure that they were still involved in doing stuff. So there might even be a little bit of a rebranding, maybe a name change, because it's not really a war anymore. So there might be a little bit of that in the future too, but that's at least going to be the game plan when it comes to that moving forward. And then every Thursday, you'll see our two goofy mugs doing this goofy thing. But, like the Wordsmith said, he loves this show. So we do what we do,
And you know what? That frees me up to do some of the other projects that we've talked about.
That's what I'm saying.
We got some stuff in the works that we'll announce via social medias when they are official. Once the boss gives us
you might get a couple Between Two Beards specials here or there, like maybe a different night of the week occasionally. Yeah. We got some ideas. So it frees both of us up a little bit, an extra night to, maybe do some cool stuff in the future and stuff like that.
And not everything we got planned is wrestling related. We try to keep it wrestling centric, of course, but and I think my wife will appreciate that. As the kid is, I'm getting messages that he went crazy after he got kicked off of the Between Two Beards set.
Well, it's hard the first time you get rejected. You gotta take a step back. You gotta understand, you're gonna be better on the other side.
So we've got roughly 10 minutes left of the show. We decided, because of your announcement, we're not going to do a full rundown of the entire All Out, like ins and outs, like we usually do in our normal spot when we have the time. So instead, in the comments, tell us what you're looking forward to most at All Out. Obviously, for me, I am without a doubt 100% looking forward to CM Punk, seeing what he can do in the ring. He got a little physical on Wednesday, and it looked it didn't look terrible. I mean, Daniel Garcia in 2.0 did most of the work, but you could tell it's not prime CM Punk, but I don't think we'd expect that after 7 years. So I'm looking forward to CM Punk, Darby Allin. What are you looking forward to, JPJ?
I mean, CM Punk. That I'm assuming is what most people are looking forward to is the CM Punk thing. Who would have thought after 7 years out of the ring, the first people to get physical with CM Punk would be Garcia and 2.0. Good for those guys.
Which says,
first of all, those three guys together, awesome. I love what they're doing with the good for those guys. NXT, WWE just dropped them to the curb, and they picked right back up. Them and Garcia is perfect. I love Wordsmith. That was going to be the next thing I'm mentioning. We're going to be getting right to that. I love that. I love that pairing. I think they're great. I love how on Wednesday in the promo before they called Garcia their son. They said our son, and I was like, all right, I'm in. I like it.
I just love that they're putting this is like I talked about on War Reports and this show and just my entire time that AEW's existed. CM Punk, yeah, he's the draw.
Oh yeah,
but they're giving Daniel Garcia, an unsigned talent, the spotlight to be in that moment, saying this is our next up and coming guy, and they're putting Darby Allin versus Garcia at Rampage. It's awesome. It's like they continually are building up these other young talents so that we go, yeah, I want to check that guy out. And that's what WWE is lacking right now is they need to start really pushing some of this young talent and lean on them.
I agree. Yeah, I am looking forward to the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers in the steel cage match. I think, we've seen them fight each other before. It's always good. There was a ridiculously good 8-man tag on Dynamite where they were involved. This is going to be really good. Rey Fenix is one of my favorite people to watch. He is ridiculous. The things he makes it look so easy, and he does things that I've never seen before.
I have trouble tying my shoes. That dude.
Yeah, it's just incredible. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to Miro and Eddie Kingston. That is one.
Yes.
I am very much looking forward to. Miro's going to win. Oh, yeah, I would not be shocked. That would be.
And then, unfortunately for my boy Ray, if he does that, he'll probably get hurt.
I hope not. I hope not. He's so good.
I love him, but he sometimes takes it a step too far, and he's out for like 6 months. And then Penta's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, Penta's like, I'm by myself.
Yeah. Which Penta by himself, as much as I enjoy Penta, him and Ray is like a perfect pair.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I am a little bummed that Pac and Andrade is off the card.
Yeah.
That was a match I was very much looking forward to for obvious reasons.
It
seems that Pac is having travel issues again.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We're still very much, it is what it is. We're still very much living in that type of world where if you're traveling across to a different country like that, sometimes things can happen, and it is what it is,
Which there's a silver lining. The women's battle royal gets to be on the main card, which I think is fantastic, as it should have been from the beginning. And I'm predicting.
Oh yeah, you gonna say it?
I'm gonna say it. Ruby.
Oh yeah.
Soho debut. AEW potentially just wins the thing and challenges Britt Baker. Why not?
With the vignettes that she's been releasing, but the one that she released this week where it had the Ruby Soho song from Rancid, I was like, man. I was like, that is so good.
And Tony
that is so good
for it. He would. And
and we can talk about this too. Obviously, we didn't touch Jericho and MJF. I am looking forward to that match. I think for the fourth one, I think MJF's promo on Wednesday night was great. Real good. But he's a real good. He does it all the time, but I thought that was one of his better ones in a little bit. You think MJF beats him for a 4th straight time and Jericho's gone, right? That's what has to happen here. MJF cannot lose. He should be champion, in my opinion.
You know how I feel about there should always be a wrestler that just you can't beat. And I always wanted MJF. That's Jericho's kryptonite.
Yeah.
The problem I have is AEW. If this was the WWE, I'd say, yeah, he beats Jericho. Jericho goes away for 6 months and shows back up. And you're fine. But the AEW is stays so true to their, like, Cody doesn't challenge for the world title.
Yeah.
They stay so true to these things that they don't want to, insult our intelligence. So you have MJF lose in a weird way and keep the ability for Jericho to stay. I don't know, but if he comes back and wrestles, how do you do it? I don't know. This one I'm super intrigued. I don't know how they do it because we all know Jericho is going away for touring.
Yep.
Probably in the fall. So will he come back at Revolution and be a wrestler?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
yeah, to Joe's point, as Brian Daniel.
Well, so I believe Andrade is still wrestling at All Out. I saw he posted something on social media where he was like, "Who is gonna step up to face me?" and it was a picture of him versus a question mark. And the first thing that came to mind to me was, do they bring Daniel Bryan in now? I go, is Daniel Bryan the guy that comes out and fights Andrade? Because that's a match that, yeah, and I get it. You don't want Andrade to lose, I guess, because it's his first big match. But if he's fighting Daniel Bryan, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
As that TikToker goes, yeah.
You know? That's how I feel about that.
We are down to the last couple
yeah.
minutes, so get those comments in real quick on who you want to see at All Out, what's your match, all that fun stuff.
And I agree with you, Jeremiah. I have the feeling that this is Jericho's final match, at least for a while. At least for a while. I share that feeling.
Which is fine. I'll be interested how AEW plays this stipulation, because they do need to write him off TV. Here's how you do it, but then how do you bring him back to wrestle? Because he said he would never wrestle again. Yeah. But they're gonna bring him back. He's
Joe, I would not be shocked if Tony Khan buys that music. He just goes, nope, I bought it. That's yours now. Oh man, yeah. Or who is a free agent and can go anywhere he wants at any given time is Adam Cole as well. So if Adam Cole wanted to show up at All Out on Sunday, he is 100% allowed to. And Bray Wyatt's coming at some point.
What if Adam Cole and
it's just all these people are out there, and we don't know about Adam Cole yet, but we know about Daniel Bryan, we know about Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, I think, still has a little bit more time. I think maybe I don't even know.
Yeah, he's got a few more.
But I was thinking, there's a lot of things that can happen. And what do you think? In our last 2 minutes here before we got to get out of here, what do you think main events?
Good question. I
think it's Punk, right?
With him? It depends, right? Like you get him.
I think it's Punk.
Does he win?
Yes, and then and then his next challenger that either shows up or comes out.
And he's got like a respect moment with Darby, and the crowd's going crazy.
Yep.
You main event Punk over the AEW World Title. I mean, then you could maybe even have like some kind of sub story where Kenny's kind of mad about it.
Yeah,
it's one of those things like the WWE always hits us within. That's what AEW is doing. They're making you go against the norm of what we used to do. I'm going to try to hit this point quick because they always WWE Championship main events the show.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, not when John Cena was on the champion. But anyway,
exactly. More often than not, you got to go with the. But yeah, I think you do because you're not going to start with that. You're not going to start with CM Punk and then get everybody. You want people to watch your show that aren't watching your show. So Punk's definitely going to be later down the card.
Yeah,
because he's drawing in eyes that haven't watched the product in years. So you're not going to go first match he's done and then they all just turn it off. Granted, you got the $60.
All right. On that note, we got to get the heck out of here because Quizplex is starting in just a few minutes. Stay here, support Quizplex. It's a fun trivia show. Pluggo has a friend on it. I have a friend on it. Watch the show. It's a lot of fun. Thank you all for hopping in the chat as always. Thank you all for all your comments. We appreciate all you guys. And like we said at the top, if you ever feel like you guys need to talk to somebody, my DMs are open. Pluggo's DMs are open. Joe behind the glass DMs are open. Reach out. We're here for you. Thank you, RK Athletics. We'll see you next week for another episode of Between Two Beards. Stay tuned for Quizplex. Peace out.